Hi, I'm Avery, and today we're doing more color on the piece we've been working on, part 5, and hopefully we're going to get finished today. We'll see. We're using chalk pastel crayons, and it's a fantasy landscape. So let's get started. Last video we were making some parts of this dark and some light, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into this section behind the moon being dark right here. Just check this out, see if it's too angled. Seems okay. It's a bit of a weird angle. It's kind of like angled toward me or something. Anyway, let's just do this. I'm on a tiny table today because I'm in a different place, staying with my parents for a bit, just visiting. And there's no desk in here. So this table might actually, as long as it isn't shaking the camera at the same time. Oh, it is, okay. Sorry, let's just fix this away from that. Away. Oh, it's probably better. Okay. Okay, that's better. So I'm coming in here with this part. Oh, this table moving is not ideal for the video. It's okay, we're just gonna move forward. I got my colors here though, which is cool. You can probably see the colors better. Using a lot of this like periwinkle blue in this one. And try to mix it with this instead of mixing it by hand. My gosh, this table is not the one. This is maybe good practice, not pushing down too hard on the table, but I tend to go with a hard press, especially with the pencils, because they're actually naturally pretty hard chalk, and instead of like a soft chalk pastel is usually a lot softer material than the pencil ones. So it makes me feel like I have to press down harder, but it's probably not 100% true. Okay, that's decent. I want it to be more purple though, so let's see if we can come in here with the purple. It's okay. It's not showing. Yeah, I like it. Now it's maybe getting a little too light. So come in, see what it looks like with yellow. Now, naturally yellow and blue makes green, but since this is more of a cover, I think it'll come out, instead of a mix, I think it'll come out more as its own color instead of a new color. And that's nice, I like that. So here, okay, it's not bad, it's not bad. Something missing in the texture here, maybe this got too soft, so just come in and give it a little roughness with the pencil. I forgot about the smudge, so I need to get my smudge paper to put my hand on, but for now, let's just continue this. So that's great. That's nice. I like that the dark is coming from behind the moon. It's, I want it to be a little lighter up at the top, like this way. So let's do that. That's nice. Okay, cool. And now I want, I have to remember what I said about the clouds from before, whether it was gonna be dark to light. Let's see, what would it be? I saw a lot of beautiful clouds last week, and I was trying to commit them to my memory for this exact purpose. And a lot of the clouds I remember studying had a ring of light right behind them, as if they were being lit up from behind, which is true. They would be being lit up from behind, whether it would be the sun or the moon. In this case, potentially one or the other or both. So let's try a subtle, I'm not going in too hard with this pencil right now because I don't want it to be too dark, because I'm not sure yet whether this needs to be dark or light. So this might actually need to be a medium type of blue, not like in between a dark and a light. I just need to grab my paper so I don't smudge this. This is not the one I wanted, but here's an envelope. All right, so this gives us a little more idea of what we need this to look like. That's okay. To me, I'm immediately like, okay, well, this isn't what I want it to look like right now, but it does give me an idea of where I can go, where I can work through and from, and how I can get it to a place that, well, is realistic. But still has a feeling of, this is a fantasy world, and in that sense, it's a little different. So just come in here, follow these lines. I don't have my mics set up today, so if the sound is less good than the last video, that's my apologies. Sometimes it's more important in my practice to make sure to get some amount of art done over whether it's a perfect setup. And I think that's a good model to hold as an artist. Sometimes the setup is not going to be perfect, like this table. And there's definitely downfalls. And I could make sure it was perfect and potentially lose some time on actually making the art. And art is not about perfection. Videography is maybe a little bit more about perfection, but I'm trying to keep the focus on making the art and not making everything be about getting a perfect video. That being said, I do appreciate notes and feedback from you all. So if you can't hear well or would like to hear something in more detail, or just any kind of feedback of what you all want to see, or don't see, don't want to see or hear about while I draw and paint, I would really like to hear that in the comments. So please feel free to put down anything in the comments that you feel like would make these videos better overall, and just better for you? What do you like to draw to? Do you like drawing videos that have music overlaid? Do you prefer just the pencil and chalk ASMR? So let me know what floats your art boat. So I'm just coming down here because I'm feeling it out right now. I'm trying not to use my AI mockup for this right now because I'm just personally a little frustrated at the state of the world with AI, and even though it is super helpful for me, I just feel a grievance with it in general, but also today. It's like an extra particular grievance. And I do envy some people who feel like they don't need to use it, because in a lot of ways I do feel like I need to use it for like my own organization and peace of mind. It's super helpful for me. And so in that way, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Kind of like a crutch or a small addiction might be. Okay, we're getting a little dark, so I'm just gonna switch over now to bright and see if we can blend and see what that blend might reveal to the ultimate goal. So sorry about this table. This is gonna have to change to some other table that I don't have in the next 24 hours. This is great. I really like the freedom, the cleanness of the blank paper here, and so I want to be super cognizant of leaving other parts of the paper blank, so I'm not going to go into all of this tonight, but I will go here to blend. Immediately feeling like this is too sky blue and I want it to be more of a purple blue. So I'm gonna have to come back in and hit this with purple. But that's fine, because that's what we're doing. Figuring out what we want with the colors. Okay, it's very pastel at the moment. In tone, I mean, not in material. Well, both, but okay, great. I got one cloud sort of for work in here. Now I'm feeling like there's no, I'm forgetting the word when it goes from light to dark. It's not scale, but the other one. There's no gradient, and what I really want is quite a big gradient because it needs to have depth. So let's come in again with the purple. And I might be about at 10 minutes here. Let's see. So about 15 minutes. I'm gonna make this one a bit shorter, and I will be adding this to a full video, so I can post the whole art process eventually with no breaks. But I am a fan of the 15 to 30 minute videos as a person who likes a shorter video attention span. But for other purposes, sort of like if you need something just on in the background that's not gonna stop, then I am gonna make a full video of this piece. Okay. So now I wanna come around here and get that outline, like I was saying before, of the cloud so that it looks like it's lit from behind. And the best way to do this would be to leave the paper blank, because you can see just here how much brighter it is when it's just blank paper. But since I wasn't really thinking about it, try my best to come in with the pencil. And that's nice, that's fine. It's got something. If I want it to be super bright, I can come in, not as bright as the paper, clean paper, but brighter. I could come in with some white paint after, and I do sometimes use an overlay of acrylic paint detail to give texture. I don't think I'll need to in this case, but the main problem I'm having with this cloud right now is that it needs more form in the middle here. So let's see if we can make another cloud within the cloud like this. Okay, nice. I like here is good. This one's coming along. We're getting the feeling of the cloud now. And that's where we're gonna leave it today. So catch you in the next video. Thanks, y'all. I'm gonna try to put in more color today. I am gonna use the mock-up because, well, you know, it's hard out here. I've been struggling personally to find enough time because I'm doing another full-time job at the moment, which, you know, I'm not supposed to admit all the time as an artist, but yep, I am working another full-time job. Have to get a little cash. The job is pretty intense, so sometimes I feel like I have time to do these videos, and sometimes I'm really pushing my luck. Oh, I need my smudge paper. Where is my smudge paper? This is not my smudge paper, but I can use this. Hopefully that's not too distracting. Okay, so I'm coming in here. I do think the mic's working because I'm picking up the paper sounds pretty well. I just want to come in here and make this dark. How'd you say? I'm a little frustrated at this piece at the moment because I am feeling impatient. If I can anchor this. Whoop. Anchor down this table. If that had been a soft chalk pastel, like a stick, not a crayon, that would have broken in 17 pieces. But since it is a crayon, oops, we got lucky. So yeah, I'm frustrated because this is taking too long. And of course, too long is subjective, but I'm feeling like, why can't it just be finished? So try to mitigate that a little bit. Where are you, crayon? By reminding myself that this is my art. There's no deadline on it. It's not a grade I'm trying to finish. But yeah, there's a sort of built-in system of work that we, I think, pick up in our schools, in my country at least. have a sort of pressure, or I picked that up, that sort of pressure around everything. When's it due, and can I get it done in time, finished in time? I think that comes a little bit from my own mind, my ADHD and other things I struggle with. Okay, so I don't know, I'm not gonna rush this, but I do want to be less precise. So the reason I use chalk, a lot of the reason, not the only reason, is because it does allow you freedom to be less precise, and even with the pen, I feel like I can accomplish some of that. I don't really need this actually yet. We're not really smudging. I just have to be careful because my setup's a little small today. I don't have my regular desk because I'm at a different location than my parents. So just doing my best with this little side table. This is fine. I just don't want this to get too dark. And obviously this is my person here, the wizard. And they're familiar. So I'll be a little more careful. This should stay bright. Yeah, I'll continue with the orange here. For me, and I don't know about other artists, when I'm working on a specific piece like this, and usually I am working on just one at a time, I get very frustrated if anything else, I mean anything, has to be done during the day that isn't working on this. So like today I had like 8 full hours of other work, and the whole time I was just like fuming because in my mind there's no reason that I shouldn't be working on this, because this is obviously the most important thing, and that's how I think a lot of artists' brains work. And it does get us in trouble when we have to live and function in society, unless you're living full-time off your art, obviously, but still there are human, social things that we have to remember. Because every artist's dream is to just do their art all the time, but it's more of a, for me, it's like a bodily, like a visceral overtaking. Almost like I can't control my own mind. And then when I have to force it into other projects, it just seems so pointless. And obviously I know it's not, because I have to make money, but it almost makes it impossible to do the other tasks, which is absurd, because, you know, I should be able to see the logic in it, but there just isn't. I think for a lot of us, the logic just doesn't exist for that kind of obsession and dedication for a project, even down to the tiniest minutiae of said project would be constantly running in the back of my mind until I can, and in front of my mind, until I can get back to making the project. So all that to say is I'm very happy to be able to work on this. This is being seen. I'm doing a kind of a late session today, but the light's pretty good. It's like a 6:30 at night. I know a lot of old masters that had, you know, that were also, as they were like ship merchants and ran lamp companies or whatever in the 1700s and stuff like that. They would, you know, get up at the crack of dawn earlier, oops, to work on their art, and then they would have to do the rest of their day, obviously. But they had, you know, house servants and things, and they would do their work, and everyone would prepare their breakfast for them and their coffee, and all the house would be managed, and their children they wouldn't see or deal with except in a passing. I'm talking about men. I don't know about women, not much written about them, artists wise, in that age. But what I mean to say is that the dream, the idealized version of get up at the crack of dawn, do art, and then do the rest of your day is, I think, kind of beyond me, unless I'm literally functioning on jet lag, I guess, and have a natural rhythm for that. Otherwise, I'm tired. I'm too tired to make the getting up early to work worth the loss it takes its toll on for the rest of the day, and that's something that I personally struggle with a lot because of fatigue. I'm sure other people also wonder, oh God, why can't I, you know, wake up early and do my art and then do the rest of the day, or do whatever you want to do, like do my woodwork or metalwork or my singing or music. Well, because we're fucking tired. We don't have servants, most of us, to also clean our house at night and take care of our meals. See, I was afraid this would happen. The blue and the yellow have mixed to become bit green. I did want to avoid the green because of the potential apocalyptic nuclear wasteland vibes. Fuck. So a couple options. I could erase it, but that feels like admitting defeat, which obviously it isn't. And I'm being stubborn, but it does feel like, to me, admitting defeat. It is possible though. You can erase quite a lot of chalk, even if it's layered, and it'll just stain the paper. What I think I want to do instead is try putting more blue over this. See if it can eat up a bit of where we were getting in too much into the green there. Oh, I was burning so much of this herb earlier. Not in the way you think, but as like a clearing space, like saging, but it wasn't sage. It was so strong, and I think I put the burn on too hard because it pretty much burned the whole stick. It was like a big bundle of herbs, and it's really strong, which I like, but is, you know, take that into account if you sit right by it. But it's good for the mosquitoes that plague us in the summer here. I just have to leave this for a little bit because it's just annoying me. So let's move on. Maybe get my favorite blender out over here. This is that sort of purple color, and I want it to come in pretty strong. Yeah. See, sometimes these crayons work differently than the super soft sticks, and I don't actually like just blending them with my finger as much. I don't know, it's like becomes more muddled. but with an overlay. So sorry about this table, y'all. Do need to fix this somehow. With another pencil to blend, it kind of, I don't know, becomes more dynamic. Maybe just the texture of the crayon itself makes the finger blending less effective. Okay. I haven't tried sharpening these, but I don't know if they need it, because if you just use one side, it kind of, it works it down so that it's a bit like sharpens itself. These are kind of fucking great. Can't believe it took me this long to find these. I was really, really not searching new materials to the best of my ability. I saw these in the Papier Michel in X, and they did cost about $85, all these, which, you know, seems pretty intense for some crayons, but it's well worth it, because these are my chosen medium. So, oh, this is looking so good. This is exactly what I need. Weird angle on this because of my stand here, but let's see if we can get over here. I'm really not used to doing this precise kind of coloring, but it's kind of cool. It's frustrating, but it challenges me in a good way. And why am I, you know, so pressed to finish quickly on these pieces? Honestly, I've always worked pretty quickly, or wanted to work pretty quickly on my art, and I think that's just because I have a bit of impatience, as all humans do. I want it to look good, and right now. It's losing a little texture. That's okay, but this is just something I'm learning about these crayons. I'm gonna have to come back in and do that in marker, maybe a paint marker. The person, I mean. Oh, maybe this is just the white. No, it's the purple one. Light blue purple. Ooh, I like that with the green. I do. I do very much like that with the green. Okay. It's pretty. It's lighter than my mock-up, but it's not particularly bad. I did want to bring more greens into this piece. Let's go water while we're in this thing. want to see the mock-up, it's this. Got my colors here. Palette looking good. I feel like you could use this palette for a room and make it super bright and lovely. Like a night sky room. Gotta get so many angles when you're a creator. The window light is doing something. Or it might be the HD. All right, so we need blue. Let's try this lighter blue here. And the water. Doesn't really match the clouds though. Maybe here. These marker lines are getting a little lost, so pin lines, excuse me. I might come in and trace those. Actually, let's just do the orange here. The most important thing is that I want to keep some of the brightness to the water, so I will come in and erase part of this, I think, just to keep it bright. So let's continue. Definitely a different medium than a soft chalk pastel. It just behaves in its very own way. If I was doing this with a chalk pastel, it would be immediately like inundated into the other color. But this is such a hard type of chalk. It just sort of does nothing unless you press super hard. So. All right, enough of that vertical content. In the end, I think these small, well, I just have to work out how to make these go more quickly because the color should be the easiest part, not the most difficult. And so I'm wondering if I did make them bigger in scale with the soft chalk pastels work, or would they be too broad? I don't really recommend doing what I'm doing right now, which is just sort of cloaking all of your spaces. it kind of takes away that brightness that I was talking about with the blank paper, but well. Could be worse. Let me see if I can find my eraser on these parts. Now, but that's all right. So maybe this. This is just sort of like a light sky blue. Maybe just fit it in here for some extra dreamy. We're losing the marker, but that's okay. Definitely come back to it. That's what it looks like. Blue. I wonder now, because I'm noticing my inclination to cover the paper completely, wondering if there might be some in between way where I can maybe do like a partially colored pieces just to practice leaving that space, you know? Not immediately going in to fill every single line. It's okay, but something's not right, and I can't quite say what it is. I do know this needs to be blue. Well, I could hit this with watercolor to mix, but since I made this sketch all the way out to the edge, I can't. Because if I did, the paper would not be taped down and it would bend and fold and dry the water, which is why you see watercolor artists taping their paper. And I do tape my chalks as well, usually, just for the stability of the paper. And sometimes I do put acrylic-based paint on top, but okay, that's cool. I still feel that I'm losing a little bit of sharpness. Maybe that will come back with the outlining. Okay, I like this blank paper here. I'm just gonna try to smooth out the gradient into the bright paper. This is a really good thing to notice if you're painting. Okay, just try not overworking the paper as much as you can. See where that gets you. This really needs to pop behind the moon. It needs to have depth. These clouds as well, these are bright by the sunset and the moon there. Getting very close now. I think I'm gonna pull some blue into these trees. Yeah, that'll be great. Of course, I'm tempted to, you know, come in with brown for trunk and green for leaves, but since this is a dusk scene, that's not exactly the colors that they would be. They really would reflect the dusk light, making them different. This is cool, this is cool. I like this. The blue could come in here in this way, and that would make this paper really light up, but since I had such a trouble here with the green mix, I'm just not sure I want that. Maybe just a little bit at the top coming in, and we won't really mess with it too much more. It's an interesting part of the process when you feel almost that elation that comes with finishing a piece, but you're not quite there, so you're really studying what about this looks unfinished to me, not to anyone else, not to the, you know, regulations of Board of Artists at the Royal Academy or whoever, but to me, where am I missing definition? Where could my hillside be more a hill? Yeah, this is great. Obviously easier if you have a reference photo, but sometimes not. I sometimes get to the very end here, or most end, and sort of put aside, disregard the reference photo so that I can just feel that my image, my creation has its own wants and needs, and that inherently in my making of it, it has changed from its reference photo, and that's good, and I should respect that by not needing it or wanting it to be exactly as pictured. Losing some stair definition here, but we can come back in with the marker. I haven't really studied rocks enough to make these just super rocky on my own, but I'm imagining that the tops here would be bright with the reflection, but maybe on the other side, perhaps they would be darker. almost there, you all, almost there. Getting very, very close to the end here. Just a little bit of problem areas that I figure out how to rework, like how to give this texture without losing its cloud, how to make this part go away. And that's almost about it. How to define our trees here. Just do this outline for now. That's nice. I wonder sometimes if making art is all just definition, light and dark versus their opposites. How can one thing stand out from another? Just forms and shapes. Now, if I can get an eraser small enough to erase the figures, that'll be ideal. Keep their brightness. Good, y'all. It's almost there. We're just struggling without our eraser. Let's see if we can mash up this white yellow a little. Without it turning green. An eraser has appeared to me from the heavens. We're gonna erase over here. Make sure it doesn't have any other color or pencil on it. And then let's start with this part. You can see almost erasing in chalk is its own sort of form of smudging. And you can use that to your advantage when you mess it up. Or just if you want to, do it that way. Just remember, you can always come back in here with whatever color you had before, but it'll be bright. And that's what we want, the brightness of the paper. Really show that it's the lightest portion, and it makes me think about the moon, because the moon is not uncolored, but that could be good in this case. Maybe we come around and erase some parts of the moon after, or just have to see how that goes. Now this is very bright, and I wonder if the yellow can now make its own definition in here. As if the cloud indeed was climbing up. billowing up as they do. Texture is good. Paper texture is good. It's chalk. We have an expectance of this rough texture look with chalk, which is so lovely. Oh, it's just so pretty. This one has a very nice look. So maybe come through here, grab up this yellow. And lay it back down with the softer yellow that's less mustardy. This up here, I think I want orange, kind of like this part. So let's bring the orange in this way. Can you all see that? Sorry. Orange in up here. So it has a fade on it. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's make this definition here. Oh, yes, that's pretty. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. You can come in here with this. Gently. Such that these clouds will need to be outlined like this. All of them, eventually. A little too rambunctious there. Just come back in. That needs a blend. Smooth enough with the finger. Something's happening. Now I wonder if the moon, will the moon be outlined in orange or blue? Let's see. That's trash. So I guess blue. That looks like a trash fire. So we're gonna make it blue. Or we might need to make it really white. Let's try really white. So just blending up, away. Okay, cool, I like that. That's a good contrast. This is the moon color, so here, fill in the edge. Close to being finished. Carefully, carefully. That's nice. texture for me. So let's try this. Okay, nice. Might try this. Adding this one. Little depth and shadow. Alright, y'all, it's pretty close. Let us see about you. Face got covered up. Will want to put some kind of color down on their cloak. And the windows. Windows will need to be bright. Now, what are we gonna do about this? I think that's gonna be for the next video. So we are pretty close here, y'all. Pretty close. All right, see you next time. Thanks.